close to this moment, you know, but it's still major that I got that done.
The homies ain't looking at Big U, they looking at Nip, cuz. When Nip pull up in that Rolls Royce and that platinum Jag, looking with all that chain on, yeah, Nip was getting bigger than the set, cuz. And don't nobody get bigger than the set is what I was told. So they killed that nigga.
So they had to send a warrant to get Big U's DNA. You want to take a wild guess whose DNA came back on this son? Big U, Eugene Henley's DNA came back on her son's fingernails.
That's Big U's son, Dion Henley. And wow, he's spilling some wild family secrets. For years, the Henleys kept quiet while Big U ran the streets like he was untouchable. But now, with fraud charges, murder accusations, and even whispers about ties to Nipsey Hussle's tragic death, the family can't stay silent anymore. Big U's getting hit from every angle, and his own son is dropping bombs that nobody saw coming. Let's break this down. Big U's locked up, and the drama is hitting hard. The hip-hop world is in total shock. Eugene Big U Henley Jr., one of the most connected OGs in the LA scene, got snatched by the feds on some heavy charges. And guess what? This ain't just about Big U, it's dragging his whole family down, especially his son, the NFL star, who's now caught up in the mess he didn't sign up for. But hold up, let's get into Big U's story. Big U isn't just some random name in South Central. This dude's been running both sides of the game for years. On one hand, he played the role of the community hero, founding that developing options group for the kids, helping launch big names in hip-hop like the legendary Nipsey Hustle. But on the flip side, the feds are saying Big U is a top dog for the Rolling 60s Crips. Yeah, one of the biggest and baddest gangs in LA. The Rolling 60s aren't just some small crew. They're 1,600 strong, going all the way back to 1976 as a crew under Stanley Tookie Williams and the West Side Crips.
About $3 million that Kanye West gave us.
Wow.
And then I had like a bunch of other different contracts. And for a nonprofit, we were really proud. Then Nipsey gets killed. Well, after Nipsey gets killed, then the rumor goes out, Big U had something to do with it. We lost everything.
You lost all those?
Everyone, I tell you everything.
Wow.
Kanye stopped answering the phone.
These dudes got a saying that sums it all up. You ain't a rolling 60 till you kill a 60. That's wild, straight up ruthless. It shows just how deep they go in the streets, keeping the chaos alive inside and outside the set. Their history is packed with grimy, unforgettable moments. Like back in '84, when Kermit Alexander's entire family got taken out by mistake. That was a straight up tragedy. And in '88, Karen Toshima got caught in the crossfire, another innocent victim of the gang's street wars. For years, Big U's been living a double life. Gang boss on one side, community activist on the other. He's been all over documentaries and podcasts selling that I'm reformed after my prison time story. But according to the feds, that was all just a cover, a front for what was really going down behind the scenes. Then in March 2025, the whole house of cards came crashing down. The feds moved in and put the cuffs on Big U and 18 other Rolling 60s members and associates. The Department of Justice wasn't playing around. They charged Big U in a federal complaint, saying he was running a full-blown criminal empire, racketeering, all types of schemes, you name it. This wasn't some minor legal issue. These were massive federal charges that could have Big U locked up for life. And it didn't stop there. By the end of March, Big U was facing a 43-count indictment stacked with everything from RICO violations to murder, kidnapping, robberies, extortion, wire fraud, embezzlement, human trafficking, and weapons charges.
Big U didn't show up to the funeral, never contacted the mother for any type of support, anything. Just blocked her and everything, right?
It's a legal nightmare that just keeps getting darker. U.S. Attorney Joseph McNally wasn't sugarcoating anything when he dropped the bomb. As the indictment alleges, Mr. Henley led a criminal enterprise whose conduct ranged from murder to sophisticated fraud. That's a heavy statement, but the wildest accusation in this whole mess? The murder of Rayshawn Williams, a young, hungry rapper signed to Big U's U&E music label, found dead in Vegas back in 2021. According to the indictment, this wasn't just some random body found in the desert. Nah, the feds say it was a planned hit, all over a diss track. Let's break it down. Rayshawn Williams was just 21, trying to make a name for himself in the rap game. He wasn't just some random kid either. He played high school football with Big U's son, Dion Henley, who's now cashing checks in the NFL with the LA Chargers. Williams had signed to Big U's UNE Music, and the label even flew him out to Vegas. Tickets, Airbnb, the whole package paid for. But according to the feds, Williams dropped a track dissing Big U, and it had some chilling lyrics, basically predicting his own fate. He rapped about the bro who makes some money and might get popped for thinking stuff's funny. That's eerie. Prosecutors claim Big U wasn't feeling the track one bit. They say he and his co-defendant Sylvester Robinson, also known as AV, pulled up on Williams in Vegas. And what happened next is straight up cold. The feds say Big U and AV took Williams out to North Las Vegas, shot him in the face multiple times with a .38, and dumped his body off I-15 like he was nothing.
Equipment out of the studio and wasn't paying that $20,000 to Big U no more. Nigga, everybody know that.
Left him in a ditch. They didn't stop there. Allegedly, after the whole thing went down, Big U and his crew told the studio workers to keep their mouths shut and wipe the security footage clean, like it never happened. Williams's body turned up near a Nevada landfill about 4 miles northeast of the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. The Clark County coroner ID'd him and ruled it a homicide. Gunshot wounds to the face, cold and calculated. Once word hit the streets that Williams was dead, social media blew up with people demanding answers from Big U, but he stayed silent, like nothing even happened. That only made the whole situation feel even shadier. And Williams's mom, Shauna Brown, she ain't holding back. She went to TMZ and straight up said she believes Big U was the one who took her son's life. She made it clear. She wants the system to throw the whole book at him. And guess what? The case got even messier. Big U allegedly refused to hand over his DNA for testing, so the cops had to get a warrant to make it happen. And now there's a video floating around online, dropping claims that Big U's DNA was found under Williams's fingernails, like there was a fight before Williams got gunned down.
So they had to send a warrant to get Big U's DNA. You want to take a wild guess whose DNA came back on his son? Big U, Eugene Henley's DNA came back on her son's fingernails.
But the murder charge isn't the only thing on Big U's plate. The feds are saying he was running a full-blown mafia-style operation from 2010 all the way to March 2025. The charges keep stacking up, and this whole case is getting wilder by the day. They're calling it the Big U enterprise in the indictment. And what the feds are laying out is wild. They say Big U used his gang ties and big name status to lean on businesses, pro athletes, and even music artists, forcing them to check in for protection or face the consequences. That's a whole different level of pressure, but that's not all. Big U is also accused of pulling off some serious financial scams. The feds claim he filed a bogus COVID-19 relief loan for his label, UNE Music, saying the company raked in $200,000 in 2019, when in reality, it was in the red by $5,000. If that's true, he wouldn't have qualified for the loan at all. And it gets deeper. Big U's facing charges for allegedly stealing donations from his own nonprofit, Developing Options, a group that was supposed to help the community, but was getting money from the city of LA, the mayor's office through the Grid Foundation, and even donations from big names like Shaq and Draymond Green.
Nipsey meant a lot to me, this community, to a lot of people far, you know, how much Nipsey has played a role in a lot of people's lives just with the inspiration he provided through his music. Me, I knew Nipsey since I was EA high. My dad was actually his first manager. While I was in the backyard doing football drills, Nipsey was downstairs making music.
The indictment paints a clear picture. Big U's reformed gang member and community leader image was just a front, covering up a web of dirty moves that used his reputation to gain clout, build fear, and control the streets. When the feds finally snatched him up, Big U showed up in court chained at the hands and feet. The judge ordered him to stay locked up in federal custody until his detention hearing on March 31st, 2025. Then on April 8th, 2025, Big U pleaded not guilty to all charges in a downtown LA courthouse. His trial is set to kick off on May 20th, 2025. And before turning himself in, Big U hopped online, dropping videos where he denied everything, blaming the charges on racial bias and saying it was all the work of haters. In one of his videos, Big U straight up said, "This is the price of being black and trying to help somebody, trying to help your community, and do what you can. You just guilty because somebody else don't like you." His lawyer, John Tarkowski, backed him up, saying Big U is ready for a strong defense and fully stands by his innocence. But this case, it's way bigger than just Big U. It's part of a massive gang crackdown in Los Angeles called Operation Drawdown. And Big U wasn't the only one caught up. Other alleged gang members like Sylvester Robinson, aka Vay, and Mark Martin, aka Bear Claw, also got scooped up, facing the same heavy charges. The feds aren't playing around. This investigation kicked off back in August 2020, and by the next year, they had their sights locked on Big U's alleged enterprise. Multiple agencies were involved: the FBI, the IRS, the North Las Vegas PD. That alone shows how deep they're digging into this case. Big U's trial is set to kick off in just 2 weeks, on May 6, 2025, and the stakes couldn't be higher. If convicted, Big U could be looking at life behind bars, and his co-defendants like Robinson and Martin, they're staring down up to 20 years each. This whole case has the streets buzzing, and it's got folks asking real questions about gang culture in LA, like how much does the line between community activism and street life really blur? The charges against Big U are making people wonder about the role of former gang members in these intervention programs, and whether you can really leave the streets behind when trying to help your community.
All that's a police report, homie, where Black Sam had to pull a pistol out on Big U before Nip got killed.
Rumors been flying like crazy about Big U's connection to Nipsey Hustle, and you already know this is the most heated part of the whole saga. Let's keep it real. These are just rumors and talk from the streets and online chatter. None of this has been confirmed in court, and it's not part of the official charges against Big U. But the streets won't stop talking, so we gotta break it down. Nipsey Hustle, real name Ermias Joseph Asghedom, was a legend in LA, a rapper and a community powerhouse. He got tragically gunned down on March 31st, 2019, right outside his store, the Marathon Clothing in Hyde Park, Los Angeles. The official case pinned the hit on Eric R. Holder Jr., who was convicted and hit with a 60 years to life sentence. The reported motive? A personal beef between Holder and Nip. But here's where Big U comes into the mix. Him and Nip had a long history together. Multiple sources say Big U helped Nipsey get his foot in the door around 2008, basically playing the role of manager when Nip was just starting out, building his name. There's even a video floating around of Dion Henley, Big U's son, talking about his own relationship with Nipsey. But like most business relationships in the music game, things between Big U and Nipsey weren't always smooth sailing. Word on the street is their relationship got shaky over some drama about equipment at Big U's shop. That beef supposedly pushed Nipsey to drop a diss track. Yeah, it got that heated. And when Big U caught wind of the track, he allegedly tried to have Nipsey disciplined for it. But Nipsey's brother, Black Sam, wasn't having it. He stepped in and shut it down before things could blow up, and the beef was eventually squashed. Still, whispers have been floating around for years. Some people think Big U might have had a hand in setting up Nipsey's murder. That theory has been especially pushed by female rapper SKG, a former death row artist. She's been out here in interviews straight up claiming Big U was behind it all, saying he terrorized the Crenshaw community and had a rep for being on some violent stuff. But let's be real, these claims don't have any official backing. Big U has gone on record denying any part in Nipsey's murder. In a 2021 interview on Drink Champs, he said loud and clear, "We ain't got no beef," trying to shut down all the talk and make it clear there was no conflict with Nipsey. One of the loudest voices pushing these conspiracy theories has been Charleston White. You know him, controversial as ever, always stirring the pot with his wild takes.
Nipsey Hustle got smart and say, "Nigga, I don't want to pay you $20,000 a month no more, nigga." And Nipsey Hustle come up dead. He lost his protection, and the hood killed him.
In several videos, White has straight up accused Big U and the Rollin 60s of being responsible for Nipsey's death. Charleston White takes his theory even further. He claims Nipsey's rising fame put him at odds with Big U, sparking major tension. White even says there's paperwork out there showing conflicts between Big U and Nipsey's family before the murder went down. Let's keep it real though. These are serious accusations with no official receipts to back them up. The RICO case against Big U, it charges him with the murder of Rayshawn Williams, but doesn't include anything connected to Nipsey's death. And as far as the official case goes, Eric Holder is the one who got convicted for killing Nipsey. There's no evidence tying Big U to the crime. Still, all this controversy has hit Big U hard. Whether the rumors are true or not, the whispers alone have hurt his paper and his business. In a video, Big U himself talks about how these rumors have messed up his money and slowed down deals after Nipsey's death. These rumors show just how messy the game can get when hip-hop, gang culture, and business all collide, especially in a city like LA. The way the music industry mixes with the streets means that personal beefs, business deals, and gang politics can end up tangled together. And when that happens, it can get dangerous real quick. Whether there's any truth to the allegations or not, they've become a part of the story surrounding Big U. And no matter what the facts are, these whispers have shaped how people see him, his character, his moves, his whole legacy. Looking at the big picture, it's the tale of a man caught between different worlds, the life of a gangbanger, the hustle of the music biz, and the community grind of nonprofit work. That kind of double life ain't rare in places where gang culture runs deep, but it does create a web of drama that's hard to untangle. The rumors about Nipsey Hussle's death also raise bigger questions, like how power plays really work inside gangs and the music industry. There's always a balance, respect, money, influence. And when that balance gets thrown off, beef can turn into something way more dangerous. In Nipsey's case, his rising fame and success might have shifted those dynamics, creating tension in ways we'll probably never fully understand. But as of now, none of that has been proven. It's all still talk, speculation. What's solid is this: Big U's rep has been hit hard by the rumors, even before the current federal charges. The combination of the whispers about Nipsey and the murder charges for Rayshawn Williams paints a picture of a man accused of using violence to get his way. Big U's story is a wild one. A man accused of using violence to keep control and punish anyone who dared to challenge him. But let's not get it twisted. Accusations ain't the same as guilt. In this system, you're innocent until proven guilty. The rumors swirling around Big U's ties to Nipsey's death, they've been loud, sure, but they haven't led to any charges. The official story says Eric Holder was the only shooter. But the case that's real right now is the murder of Rayshawn Williams. That's the one moving through the courts. Big U will get his day in court to fight those specific charges. What makes this whole situation so wild is the gap between Big U's public image and what the feds are saying about him. Out here, it's not uncommon to see OGs, older gang members, trying to turn their lives around and help the youth stay out of trouble. Some of them really do it, using their past as a warning and trying to make a change. But there are others who might just be fronting, pretending they've reformed while still playing the same old game behind the scenes. That's the heart of the Big U story. Was he really a reformed gang member using his clout for good? Or like the prosecutors claim, was he running a criminal empire under a cover of community work? The trial's coming up, and maybe we'll get some answers then, at least on the charges Big U is facing now. Until then, the hip-hop community and the people of South LA are left wondering what this all means. These charges are a major letdown, no doubt, but they also remind us just how messy life can get in places where gang influence still runs deep, and how tough the path to real reform and healing really is. As we wait to see what the trial brings, it's worth thinking about the bigger picture. The ongoing fight against gang violence in cities, how music and entertainment can offer a way out, and how power, money, and influence all mix together in complicated ways. The story of Big U, wherever it lands, gives us a front row seat to these dynamics and the real human costs that come with them. The streets are buzzing hard as the trial date gets closer. Big U's case is set to kick off on May 20th, 2025, and this ain't just another trial. It's shaping up to be one of the biggest gang cases LA has seen in years. The outcome could send shockwaves through the hip-hop world, gang intervention programs, and urban communities across the country. And this whole thing, it's especially hard on Big U's family, as more allegations and charges keep stacking up. One key piece in all this is Big U's son, Dion Henley. Born November 18, 1999, Dion's been making his own mark in the world, carving out a career in the NFL as a linebacker for the Los Angeles Chargers. He got drafted in 2023, and now he's out here securing that bag, building his own legacy. Despite Big U's controversial rep, Dion has stayed focused, grinding in football while his dad was doing his thing in music and the community. The father-son bond seems strong. Big U was there, supporting Dion's football dreams while running his own empire. Here's where it gets even messier. Dion's got connections to some of the same people his dad allegedly scammed. In an interview from January 2025, Dion talked about his relationship with Shaquille O'Neal, which was set up by his father. Now that's hitting way different, especially with the allegations that Big U tricked Shaq into donating to his charity, only to reroute the money into his own pockets. Even though Dion and Big U are tight, Dion hasn't said a word publicly about his dad's legal drama. And you can't really blame him. Dion's trying to build his own name, make his own moves in the NFL, and not get dragged into the mud with his father's mess. It's a tough spot, no doubt, especially when you're a public figure in your own right, grinding for that respect. Big U's family life is deep too. He's got 4 kids, including Dion, with Stacey Henley, his longtime partner. They founded the nonprofit Developing Options Incorporated together, a program meant to help at-risk youth. Sounds good, right? But now, that same nonprofit is right at the center of some of the fraud accusations against Big U. It's sad because the charity probably started with real good intentions, helping kids, making a difference, but now it's under a harsh spotlight. The murder of Rayshawn Williams hits even harder because of how close he was to the Henley family. Williams had played high school football with Dion, Big U's son, and reports say he was even living with the Henleys at one point. That makes the murder allegations even more shocking and straight up heartbreaking. Williams' mother, Shauna Brown, has been loud and clear about what she believes. She's gone public, speaking to TMZ, saying Big U is guilty and that she wants the harshest punishment possible for him. The pain of losing a child is something no parent should have to face. And for Shauna, the thought that her son was killed by someone who was supposed to be a mentor, that just makes the grief even heavier. On top of that, there are claims that after Williams' death, Big U completely ghosted the family, cutting off contact like nothing ever happened. With charges this big, it's no surprise the reactions have been all over the place. Just like most high-profile cases in the hip-hop world, the streets and social media are split. Some folks are riding hard for Big U, while others are straight up calling him out for his alleged crimes. Platforms like X, formerly Twitter, and Reddit have been blowing up with debates, and the divide is real. Some fans are still backing Big U, seeing him as a victim of a system that's always coming after successful black men in hip-hop. For example, on X, user at K1NDEASY showed love for Big U, saying, "This dude, Big U, went down. LA started to crumble as a unit. Free the legend." Another user at the Black Channel questioned the whole case, writing, "The feds have officially come down with murder charges against Big U. They now claim he's on the run. I don't buy anything they say, but it shows the crusade to arrest anyone who's made any real money from our cultural property. Rap and hip-hop are targets for arrests." But not everyone is riding for Big U. On Reddit, especially in the R-Cali banging community, the vibe is mostly critical. Some users are flat out roasting him for allegedly being sloppy with his moves. One comment compared him to Uncle Jerome from Snowfall, saying he was moving wild on the phone, practically advertising that he was ready to handle business by any means. Another user even threw shade, calling him Big Useless, showing no love at all for how he's been handling things. The controversy around Big U ain't just about online gossip. It's sparking real conversations about the role of former gang members in community programs. Before all these charges hit, Big U was seen as a success story, someone who did his time, got out, and flipped his life around to help the community. His nonprofit, Developing Options, even got backing from the city of Los Angeles and big-name celebrities. That kind of support shows people really believed in his reform story. But now, with the Fed saying Big U used his community work as a front for criminal activity, that's got people asking hard questions, like how these programs are vetted and whether the system that's supposed to keep public funds and donations safe is even working. If the charges stick, this won't just be about Big U's personal downfall, it'll be a sign that the whole system messed up. This case also hits deeper, raising tough questions about redemption and second chances. Communities hit by gang violence often turn to former gang members to help break the cycle. These OGs know the streets in ways outsiders just can't. They speak a language that the youth understand, but how can we really know when someone's done with the streets for good? How do you make sure a person claiming to have reformed has truly left that life behind? All of this, it makes it harder for folks who are genuinely reformed to gain the trust they need to do real community work. It's a heavy situation, but we gotta remember, these are still allegations. Nothing's been proven yet. In the American justice system, it's innocent until proven guilty, and Big U will have his shot in court to defend himself. His lawyer says Big U maintains his innocence and is ready to fight back hard. The trial kicks off May 20th, 2025, and you better believe people will be watching every step. The outcome? It won't just affect Big U and the others charged, it's gonna have ripple effects for gang intervention programs and community activism across LA and beyond, no matter what the verdict is. This whole case shows how messy things can get when gang culture, music, and community work collide. It's a reminder of the real human cost of gang violence and how hard it is to break those cycles in the streets. It also raises real questions about trust, about second chances, and about what it really means to hold power and influence. As we wait for the trial to unfold, let's not forget the human side of this story. There's Rayshawn Williams, a young life lost, his family grieving and searching for justice, Big U's family dealing with the fallout. Behind all the headlines, it's real people feeling real pain, no matter how this all shakes out. Thanks for tuning in. If you like this video, hit that like button, drop a comment, and make sure to subscribe to the channel for more content like this. And hey, check out the videos on your screen for more stories. Catch you in the next one.